Happy freaking New Year, guys. This is the first episode of 2026.
Oh my God, 2026 coming at you fast.
Crazy how last year just flew by, but I'm so ready for a new, fresh year.
Does anybody else feel like every single year, the year goes by a little bit quicker?
Yes.
Like I remember when I was a little kid.
Because we're getting old.
Yeah, I know, right? Little kid, the whole year took forever.
I know.
And then once you start working full time, it starts flying by.
It does.
At the speed of light. Like you're ripping through the
It
time
does.
continuum thing.
I know. It's kind of depressing to think about, but
It is
I
almost
try
a
not
little
to
bit.
think about it.
I'm so sorry. I'm starting this off bad, but it's okay. We're going to perk you up because this is Best of the Week. So we've gone through our favorite categories. We've searched through, filtered top most upvoted stories in each category for the week, and we're going to hit you with the best of the week. So if you love Reddit stories and you want to know the good ones, here's what everybody on the internet thinks are the good ones.
Period. All right,
Point blank, period.
Point blank, period.
Let's get into it. First story of 2026.
Whoa. Okay, I'll go. This title is intriguing. This one was posted 6 days ago in Am I the Asshole with 21,000 upvotes. Am I the asshole for my USB killer frying my friend's PC after she snooped in my bag?
This sounds techie.
20 female. My friend is 21 female. I always carry a USB killer in my backpack. It looks like any other thumb drive, except I stuck a tiny devil face sticker on it, so I know it's a dangerous one. I keep it on me because I still live at home and my parents are super nosy. If I ever left it at my desk, they definitely pick it up and plug it into their laptop to, quote, see what it is. Yesterday, I had to leave campus in a rush and asked my friend to watch my bag for a bit. I ended up not having time to come back, so I just texted her to take it home and I'd grab it today. She said, cool. She gets home, admits she got curious, and started looking through my stuff. Finds the devil sticker, USB, thinks it's my normal drive, plugs it into her gaming PC to see what files I have. Computer instantly dies. Mobo and PSU completely gone. Now she's mad at me, saying I'm reckless for carrying around something like that, and I need to buy her a whole new setup, even though she knows she shouldn't have been digging around in my bag in the first place. I feel bad her PC is dead, but come on. Don't snoop and don't plug random drives into your computer. Am I the asshole?
Okay. No.
Okay.
She snooped. She stole your stuff.
She fucked around and found out.
She fucked around and found out. I looked up. It says computer instantly dies. Mobo and PSU completely gone. No idea what that was. So Mobo, short form for motherboard. PSU, short form for power supply unit. And they are core PC components. The Mobo is the main circuit board connecting everything, while the PSU converts wall power to DC for all parts, including the Mobo. So electronics of your computer is what they are. And
never knew there was any such thing as a USB killer.
you know, you've seen it in movies, right? They're hackers. They plug in the USB port. Now they got access to a back door.
Yeah, but I think this is different though, right?
I think it uploaded a virus that ran a code, and instead of cracking it, it's just going to kill whatever device plugged it in. Because I think the code was designed to overload the motherboard and the PSU. That was what the code was designed to attack that and overwork it and overload it, so then it fails.
Okay, got it.
So, no, I mean, your friend snooped around, took something that wasn't theirs, and plugged it in their computer. I, personally, if I was borrowing my friend's stuff, would never try to
never in a million years
plug in their hard drive or USB stick, that's a storage device, to see what files they got on there.
I know. I just couldn't imagine being that nosy.
This makes me want to put passwords on all my hard drives.
Right?
Because come on.
But I don't think we know anybody like this that would
I don't think so.
of doing that.
Nobody really ever has a chance to touch my hard drives anyway.
Yeah.
All you're going to find is backups of the podcast across all of them and the RV vlogs and our previous photos from the last 8 years.
I guess there is some juicy stuff in there though, because they're like unedited, right?
No, I delete all the unedited stuff.
Oh,
it's
good.
literally just the hard copies.
That can never come back to bite us?
Nope. Well, I don't want to say that, but you know, some of those edits might be out there.
Because do you remember when we watched the Gabby Petito?
Yeah.
Like behind the scenes and stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
How
yeah.
they would like fight.
Yeah. Behind the scenes.
Like when they were like vlogging or whatever.
There's some of that stuff on our hard drives right now from our vlogs. Yeah.
Because like obviously like shit gets frustrating sometimes. Like we argue.
Yeah.
I would hate for that. Like if Oh my God, can you imagine? That would be my worst nightmare. I would come back from the dead to erase that from the internet.
Yeah, we don't have too many of those. Very rarely. It's most of ours, like when it's the stuff that gets cut, is us talking about how we're gonna set up the scene, not really fighting about.
I
You're
know.
supposed to be happy, be happy, be happy.
No, we're not like that,
Yeah.
obviously, but like no, sometimes we do like argue, like
Yeah, but not
where like what to say or whatever.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Burn that stuff.
It like regardless of like if it's like normal to fight or not, I would just never want anybody to see that shit.
To see it, right? So here's the thing that gets me with this story though. Obviously, you're not the asshole to the friend, but she's like, the reason I have it is so that if my parents want to snoop through their stuff, I kill their laptop. How do you think that's going to go over? When your parents plug in your USB and they've fried their only computer at the desktop, the only computer that they have.
I just don't understand that. Why do that rather than not have a USB hanging around?
Or how about it like me, would think as a reasonable person, I like to think that I'm reasonable. Maybe that's narcissistic of me. But I would think if I had something that I didn't want my parents to see, digital technology type of stuff, I'd put a password on the USB stick.
Yeah.
I would password lock it.
I just think, this is very like baity. Because if you don't have a hard drive for them to access, they wouldn't have anything to access. Like why create like a dummy like killer USB for them to like I don't get it. I don't really get it.
I feel you're going to run into some big problems when you piss your parents off because your parents, like, I'm not going to lie. If I have a 16-year-old, I might check her USBs or their USBs once in a while. Because I feel like as a parent, it's kind of considered snooping, but maybe that's a healthy level of snooping once in a while. I don't know because I'm not a freaking parent. But does it hurt to check in on your kids' stuff once in a while just to, make sure you know where they're at, where their headspace is at? Is it an invasion of privacy if it's not you bought everything that they have and it's all like they're not 18 yet?
I mean, that's what my parents did, and
they gave you privacy or they snooped on your stuff?
No, I mean, not really snooped on my stuff, but like the like tracking thing. Like they would track me because, they paid for my phone bill and my phone.
I'd track this shit of my kid too if I paid for the phone bill and everything.
I feel like in the moment, like I did kind of resent them though for that. Like I felt like I couldn't get away with anything.
It's kind of like what my sister said. You are raising a human for society.
Mm-hmm.
You're not necessarily just keeping a roof over their head. It's your task to raise them. And I feel like there is a balance of snooping and privacy that should be respected. But I feel like as a parent, it should be maybe okay to check in once in a while. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
But like, there's lots of horrors and stuff. And sometimes kids go down dark paths and the internet's a deep, dark place. And I would just like to know that my kid is safe. So I don't know. I'm kind of like.
We're getting off topic now. This is not really to do with the...
I guess so. Because, I was just thinking, she's like, I created this killer drive so my parents snoop through my stuff. I will permanently damage their computer. I would be very upset as a parent if I checked in on your USB drive.
She's 20.
Okay, I got no complaints with it then. Yeah, I forgot the age.
She's 20. And also, okay, regardless, honestly, this is not even the question that she's asking. She's saying, am I the asshole for even having this around? And
you're right.
My friend frying her shit. No, not at all. Not even in the slightest.
Agreed.
And if I were your friend, I would never, ever, ever have the balls to admit that I was snooping.
Oh my God, right?
I would take that shit to the grave and fix it myself, get a new computer.
Yep.
I would never be like, one, admit it, and two, insist you get me a new computer or whatever.
Yeah, I'd bite it.
That's shameless.
Bite it, because I would be hiding that for life.
Exactly.
I would be like, remember 10 years ago when you let me borrow your bag and you had that weird thumb drive with like a skull on it or a devil picture? Yeah, so I actually plugged that into my laptop back then. Cost me $2,000 to fix my computer. I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to admit I was snooping, but I thought you might find it funny now 10 years later.
Yeah, maybe if that. Anyways, top comment says, your last line covers it. She was a bad friend to look through your bag and a bad friend to use something of yours without asking. She's learned an expensive and lifelong lesson. Don't be a dick to your friends and don't plug unknown USBs into your computer without first checking with a trusted source about what's on it. Not the asshole.
I feel like this is a good life lesson for everybody. If you find a random USB in the snowbank, don't just plug it into your computer. Plug it into the library computer. Don't plug it into your computer.
That's actually true.
I like the comment underneath that says, especially ones that are marked with a sticker that indicates something bad.
Yeah.
But also that makes it more intriguing to plug it in. It's like so bad you don't want to look away.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right. Moving on over to me.
Back to you.
This one's coming from Best of Redditor Updates. Posted 6 days ago with 12,000 upvotes. Titled, I'm headed for divorce, but my lawyer has given me the best news ever. This was originally posted to r/offmychest. Posted October 17th, 2025. My lawyer gave me the best news. My female 38 husband, soon to be ex-husband, has been cheating on me, and he wants her instead of me. I'm probably naive because I didn't see this coming at all. I was researching vacation options for our 10th anniversary next year, and meanwhile, he, 39 male, was running around with another woman. She's either 25 or 27. I can't remember which. I never thought heartbreak like this was real, but he broke my heart. I've known people who have gotten a divorce, and you have to live separately for a year before you can get a divorce. But I wanted to be prepared, so I made an appointment with a lawyer now. It was probably the best thing I've ever done. She told me that in our state, alimony is forbidden if there is adultery. Since my husband cheated, I won't have to pay alimony. I was prepared that I would have to pay out the nose, but I have proof that he cheated, that he gave me himself, so I won't have to pay him. That is the best news I could have gotten. Also, the living separately for 1 year only applies to no-fault divorces in my state. Since I have proof he cheated, my lawyer went ahead and filed on my behalf based on adultery. Technically, my husband and I still live together. Our lease expires on the 31st, and the countdown on our separation was supposed to start November 1st. I wish I could be there to see his face when 1, he gets served with notice that I filed, and 2, he finds out he won't get alimony because he cheated. He wanted a no-fault divorce, and I know he was counting on getting alimony. It was the best news I could have gotten. I don't even have words for how amazing I feel.
Damn. I love that for you.
How would you expect to get alimony when you're like out there cheating?
I don't really
The
know how
audacity.
alimony works, but
Isn't alimony where like when you make so much and you create a lifestyle with the other person in the marriage, the person who generates that income, don't they have to continue paying to uphold the said lifestyle that person was accustomed to?
I think so.
I'm
not too sure,
I
but
think that's how it works.
I'm confused though. Did the ex-husband admit to this? Because she's saying like he gave her this proof himself.
Probably texted it.
So was it like an ignorant type of like she happened to fall upon it because he was just like stupid? Or did he actually go out of his way and was like, hey, I'm cheating?
Yeah, let's
Here's
get
the proof.
We need the details of how she found out.
Right? I need to know.
Top comments say, congratulations, come back and share his reaction, please. Someone else says, I love this for you and him. The best revenge is to live your best life and leave him in the dust. Another one said, I've never been so excited for a stranger to get a divorce in my life. Buy that lawyer an edible arrangement. I love their edible arrangements. All right, so an update comes 1.5 months later. This is kind of anticlimactic, but there were some comments on my original post asking me to update on what happens after my husband was served with the divorce papers. I also want to thank everyone for the kind comments he left. Even though I had gotten good news from my lawyer, this had still been the most horrible time of my life, and all the encouragement did help. My husband, soon to be ex, was predictably not happy when he was served and found out I had filed for divorce. He was under the impression that we had to be separated for a year first. I just told him to talk to a lawyer. We both moved out of our condo during the last week in October when the lease ended, and we live separately now. A few days after he was served, I told him to talk to a lawyer and leave me alone. My husband told me he has changed his mind and asked if we could work things out.
Oh, how convenient. I changed my mind.
I said no fucking way and told him to have his lawyer talk to my lawyer because I'm done talking to him. He was upset and almost in tears when I said I wouldn't reconsider. It's been a month and I have not seen or spoken to him. He hasn't tried talking to me again. There is an edit that says, and I'm extremely happy about it because I don't want anything to do with him ever again. Our lawyers are doing all the communicating. He has been upset, but he broke my heart first, and even the good news from my lawyer hasn't erased how broken I feel. I'm turning off my messages so people will stop DMing me and calling me two-faced for being disappointed that he hasn't contacted me again. I'm actually happy he hasn't because I want nothing to do with him ever again. I'm the opposite of disappointed.
Okay.
There's a note from the best Redditor that says, OP only comment to a downvoted comment regarding the divorce can be difficult and how complicated feelings about it are playing out. And OP says, I'm ecstatic that he hasn't tried to contact me again. I had hoped he would stop trying to talk to me after the first time when I told him to get a lawyer. I'm upset he contacted me a second time. I thought I was clear the first time, but I'm glad he got the message the second time because I want nothing to do with him ever again.
Yeah. I didn't get the vibe that she wanted him to contact her.
Right?
She was like, leave me the fuck alone.
One of the commenters said, I'll bet she dumped him. Another commenter says, he realized he derailed the gravy train and his new girlfriend dumped his broke ass. Good for you. You deserve better.
Yeah.
And another commenter says, I bet his girlfriend dumped him. Plus, he has nothing to gain from the divorce, so of course his pathetic ass wants to reconcile. I'm sorry you have to go through this, but time will dampen the pain. Wishing you the best.
Yeah. Like, I get it. As much as, you did receive some good news, there is some like silver lining to this divorce that, you didn't have to go through the whole separation and pay alimony and everything. It still must be hard. Like you're still going through a divorce.
Yep.
Like that is.
He still broke your heart.
Yeah.
They're almost in their 40s.
Yeah.
10th anniversary, she said, that she was booking.
Crazy.
That's rude.
That's nuts.
10th wedding anniversary, like on top of how many years they were together before the wedding anniversary. I feel like the years before the wedding always get forgotten.
I know.
I ain't forgetting our 7.5 years.
Me either.
Never.
Me either. I'm tacking that onto our. What are we at now? We're at 5 months?
Almost
5
7.
months?
Your birthday is 7 months.
Oh.
We literally talked about this in a previous episode.
Oh, yeah, 7 months. Oh, yeah, we passed 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top comment on the best Redditor post says, this is the most short and sweet fafo I've seen on BORU in a while. Love that for her.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Alrighty.
Over to you.
All right. This one is coming from r/relationship advice. So the update to this post is the one that is the best of the week with 4.5 thousand upvotes posted 6 days ago. But the original post came in 5 days before and had 1.9 thousand upvotes. So the original post is titled, I'm being held hostage at my parents' place and I don't know what to do. I, 28 female, Indian, am so exhausted of fighting. I'm writing this on my phone in a very emotional state, so apologies if it isn't well formatted or isn't well written. 3 years ago, I made a post about how my family stopped talking to me because I didn't travel back to my home country to get my surgery done. Well, things never really got better. I started talking to them maybe a year after my surgery when they reached out, and it wasn't great. All we did was fight, and any cordial conversations were conversations of no value. Essentially, just limited, how's work going? What did you eat? Blah, blah, blah. Last year, they showed up to Australia out of the blue, and I didn't handle that well. My partner and I met them, but suffice to say, they weren't very happy. Coming back to today, I came to visit them in India with my partner, staying with us for a week and then 2 weeks without him. They were adamant they only want to spend time with me. I was keen to work on the relationship because I do want to get married and have the option to have potential kids, and I can't really / don't want to do that without them involved in my life. I'm dating an Australian guy, 28 male, who I've been in a relationship with for over 5 years. They made an excuse so we couldn't stay with them together, but they met up with us for lunch the day my partner was leaving. Ever since I've started staying with them, they started talking about how I should extend my trip. I've made it very clear about how I can't, and I've had multiple fights with them over this. One of them where my dad started talking about how I'm essentially filth, and I live in filth, and he can't believe he's been loving filth this entire time. They've been taking me around out to relatives and didn't let me leave the day I had my return ticket. I've cried so much talking to them, but apparently the plan always is what they want from me. They've said I'm not allowed to leave anymore because apparently I've become a very negative person and they are worried about me. They have said that the Australian chapter is closed for me and I'm staying here from now on. I'm so scared and I don't know how to deal with this situation and looking for advice from anyone at all. I want to leave, but I'm worried they're going to stand guard at the door from now on and won't let me walk out. My brother is physically bigger and stronger than me, and he isn't on my side either. What the
What the fuck?
heck?
I hope they haven't, like, taken her passport. Jeez, I'd be, like, jumping through the window if I could, if it was realistic.
She's 28 years old.
Call the police. Like, just straight
Actually,
up, just call the police.
They are actually holding you hostage. Like, call the
Yeah,
police.
just call the police.
They don't have the right to do that. You're not a kid.
Yeah.
They are not your guardian anymore.
Right? 28. Call the police, I would think.
So top comment says, pretend like you are running to the corner store for something, jump in a taxi to the airport and never look back. Just leave everything there. You can always buy new clothes, etc. Take your phone, passport, and purse. I just saw your post from a couple years ago. This family is terrible and abusive, and you need to get as far away from them as possible and as quickly as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't need your bags or anything like that. Just take your passport and your phone and get the heck out of there.
So OP replied to that and said, thank you for commenting. My boyfriend has said the same thing. He said everything is replaceable, but my safety has to be the top priority. I really, really want to get back to my safe space somehow, which is my boyfriend in Australia. Sorry, why can't he help you? Because he's still in the country, no? Or no? Maybe he's not.
No, he is,
Yeah.
right? He said they went together, but he just wasn't allowed to stay at their place. So
Yeah.
he was in a hotel or something?
Or he went back home. We're not sure, I guess. And then another person replied to OP's comment, says, do you have Australian citizenship? And OP replied, nope, unfortunately not. Otherwise, I could imagine Australian embassy being a lot more involved.
Yeah,
But why does it have to come to that?
But can't you just call the local police?
Right?
Saying that I'm being held against my will. I'm not allowed to leave the house.
I'm surprised that that's not maybe it's not an option. I don't know. Another comment says, honestly, your safety is all that matters right now. You don't have an Indian cell phone number, which makes it harder to book tickets or Ubers, but you need to get out ASAP. Here's what you do. Ask your boyfriend to book your return flight ticket and email it to you. Pack your passport, any Australian visa documents, wallet with credit cards, and just bare essentials in a purse or small backpack and sneak out in the middle of the night or when nobody is home. Go to a hotel and book a room for the night, then ask the hotel concierge to print your flight tickets for you and call a taxi to the airport. Get yourself out. If you have roaming enabled on your Australian phone, just call an Uber straight to the airport. No need for the hotel part. The sooner you get to the airport, the less time your family has to know you left and look for you.
Man, honestly, I would either Uber or just walk down and look for a regular taxi and say, take me to the airport. And I would just hang out in the airport until the next flight's available. I don't even know if I'd go to a hotel and anything. I would just go straight to the airport. I would feel the safest at the airport.
I would love to know why nobody is suggesting call the police. Like, is that not an option?
Yeah, interesting. I would agree. Like, if we're here, Madison, my sister, is like, no, you're not allowed to leave. I'm going to call the police because I was only visiting.
Okay, well, let's read the update. So the update comes 5 days later. Thank you to everyone for all your concerns, suggestions, and for giving me hope. I didn't want to update sooner because it struck me very late that there is a small possibility my brother uses Reddit. The chances of him coming across this post were slim, but I didn't want to risk anything. In short, I ended up running away from home. I'm still contemplating if the decision I took was too extreme for the situation, but I think I'll go crazy if I go down that rabbit hole. A couple friends of mine had a friend, who I met last month but was hesitant to reach out because he was a fairly recent friend, in town 3 hours away, so my boyfriend and my friends planned my getaway. I was constantly surrounded by my relatives/parents to plan things, but for everyone reading, I am of sound mind and the decision to do this was mine alone. I snuck out the night we came back home from my relatives on the pretext of going for a walk, but I know they'd probably have found out not too long after I left. My friend was waiting in his car close to my place and he drove me to the airport. It was perfect because booking a cab would have had issues with timing. I didn't know when would be a good time to sneak out, so having a friend around gave me the flexibility to sneak out at my own convenience. The priority was getting out of the country as soon as possible without even knowing what the best way was to get to Australia. This was also crazy timing with the Indigo fiasco. Not sure if it helped or hurt our chances. I could only do this because of the immense support from my friends back home who spent a lot of time planning the routes and booking the flights for me, so as to not arouse any suspicions from my family and very little time for them to act. I've had messages from them and a few calls. All I've done is message them that it was my decision to leave and a list of couple points on why, and that I'd be keen to work on the relationship if they can try to come around to my life choices. Thank you everyone again, and especially to the people who reached out to make sure I'm doing okay.
Wow. At least they didn't take her passport, take her phone. Like, she was
Yeah,
still able to
to get
do
out.
all of
Yeah.
this. But
No, I would never, ever, ever trust them again.
yeah, I don't think
She's saying,
if
like,
you
if you
I'm
can,
keen to, rekindle if you can come around to my life choices, but I
no, I
just
can't
don't
trust you.
I don't trust you to come around to my life choices
Next time you're
anymore.
gonna take my passport.
Next time
Next
you're gonna
time
take
they're
my
gonna know
phone.
better.
Next time you're gonna take my phone and my passport. And why was it still no chance of calling the police?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Top comment here says, quote, I'd be keen to work on the relationship if they can try to come around to my life choices. You are setting yourself up to be kidnapped again. Next time you won't get out in one piece, if at all. They'll pretend to come around to your life choices, then convince you to come visit again, or want to meet you somewhere, and you'll never be heard from again. Don't do this. They showed you who they are and the lengths they will go to control you. Believe their actions, not their words. They are a danger to you. I'm so glad you got away. Don't ruin the second chance you've been given by trusting them again. Please,
Literally,
seriously.
literally.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. That's so scary. So there's an edit from OP that says, thanks to everyone who's been following my story and for all the support here. I know there's been a lot of backlash in the comments around me wanting to work on the relationship, and I just want to be clear that it doesn't mean I'll be going back to India the next few years or ever putting myself in a situation where I would be face to face by myself again. And even then, they would have to put in significant work to earn back my trust. This would need to happen over the phone, and I'm going to be taking any apology with a grain of salt. And I'm not hearing them out on anything other than an apology anytime soon. My partner and I agree that throwing away the relationship that I've had for the past 28 years of my life is a really big step, and now that I've gotten out, they have lost a lot of the power they once had. Now that we have the advantage in the situation, we want to show some level of mercy, and this is just because they can't do anything in this country from a legal perspective. Just to be clear, showing mercy does not mean meeting them. It just means I'm willing to hear them out only over calls. Even if they show up to Australia, as is their right, we're not scared. Last time they dropped in unannounced, they walked around town without knowing where we were for days, and we're more confident in the legal protection we have here. I'll be seeing a therapist soon because since getting back, I haven't been sleeping the best. I've been having dreams every night that I'm still trapped and have no way of getting out. This has been a big ordeal, and I'm not going to pretend that I'll be fine without professional help. We'll be dropping an email to the Indian embassy letting them know that I've left on my own will and any potential complaints coming from India are fabricated. So I think the legality part around it is because she's not a permanent resident in Australia. But she is in India.
If our parents say bad enough words, they could probably put her on our mental, like, no-fly list and stuff from the Indian embassy.
Yeah,
If they tried hard enough, they could probably do something funky like that.
that's true.
I don't understand how she has so much willing to, like, give them a second chance to this to inevitably happen again, but worse. And then at the end, she says, but I'll be dropping an email to the Indian embassy letting them know I left on my own free will. If you weren't that worried about
I
them,
know.
you
You
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
have to do
doing
that.
that. The fact that you're doing that is a
It should be
big
telling
red
enough,
flag.
yeah.
Should be telling that maybe this is a toxic family that you don't go back to. I'm reading the comments, and there's so many comments that are on that same page of not forgiving them, and this is how, like, familial acid attacks and actual abductions happen to young women,
Jeez.
and just goes down dark rabbit holes of, like, this is the type of stuff where, like, that's what happens next. The next time they try and kidnap you, they won't be nice about it. They
Yeah.
will be full
They'll know
on.
better.
They'll know better
Yeah.
that they need to go harder to keep you controlled.
Yeah, they were too lax this time.
They're in the comment in the post from 3 years ago, she makes a post on Am I the Asshole? And it says, Am I the asshole for not traveling back to my home country to get surgery done? And she ended up breaking her hand. And then on one of the conversations with her father, he says, quote, he screamed at me for 10 minutes saying things like, quote, you have absolutely zero sense in you. You just always assume that you know best. Just because you got a little bit of money, you think you can handle everything yourself. Of course, you don't even care if we're dead or alive. You'd rather cut all contact with your family because you prefer this independent life. We don't have any right to take care of our own family members now. Yeah, sure, stay with people there that you call friends because they're above your family to you now. And ultimately, let us know if you ever want us to be in your life anymore.
The cultures that are like super family oriented, like they preach family first, family first, family first, are typically the ones that are like super toxic like this. And honestly, like Italians are like this. Italians preach family first, family first, family first, but then they're like, they talk shit about everybody.
If you're not in the family.
No, within the family is what I mean.
Oh, within the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dark.
I
don't like it.
It's just to put on like a, I don't know, like a performance for other people to show that you're so close or whatever.
Yeah, families are supposed to be close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in cultures like these, that is kind of like the norm and like that's what's expected. And if you don't have a close family, then there's something wrong with you.
Right?
So it's just performative,
Like,
in my opinion.
Where's your daughter? She's not at home. Why isn't your daughter at home?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm glad she's safe.
Me too.
Jeez, crazy.
Craziness. All right, back to me. This one's coming from Am I Overreacting? Posted 3 days ago with 22,000 upvotes. Title is Am I Overreacting? My father ruined my drawing. I, 19 female, have recently decided to learn how to draw. I've never been good at making art. It's never been my thing, but I am a huge fan of cartoons and I wanted to learn how to draw my favorite characters. This week, I made this drawing of Ange, right?
I don't know.
AANG from ATLA. I think it's like the Avatar, the Airbender. And it's the first time I've actually done something I'm really proud of. I know that for some experienced artists, this is nothing, but to me, it meant everything. It might not be the best fan art in the world, but when I finished it, I felt proud. I felt happy. I want to get better at painting and doing sketches, but this felt pretty good to me, and I showed it off to everyone in my house because I felt so good about my drawing. I left the sketch with a couple others I'd been working on at the coffee table in the living room since I was looking for a frame to put it on, because I wanted to hold on to it as the first thing I've ever made. I had to put a hold on looking for a frame since my cousin, 15 female, came to spend the weekend at my home. She is an artist and was also proud of my sketch, which made me like it even more. About an hour ago, my cousin was leaving and I came to collect my drawing since my aunt brought me a frame to put it in as an early Christmas present by my cousin. But when I looked at it, I saw someone had doodle over it. I immediately burst into tears and I felt my heart shatter. When I came into the kitchen and showed it to my family, my father admitted that it was him who had done it with a blue pen, joking that, quote, dude needed some lashes. I broke down crying and told him he ruined my drawing. He said he didn't and he was just testing out the pen and decided to contribute to it somehow. My mother got pissed at me for making a scene in front of my cousin and aunt, and my father kept telling me to grow up and stop crying for such a stupid reason, since I could just make another drawing.
What?
I tried to explain to him the sentimental value the sketch had and how making another one won't fix the issue, and that he knew how much that drawing meant to me. I also told him that he would have been really pissed if I had doodled over his work spreadsheets, but he said it's not a fair comparison. Both my mom and dad are pissed at me for being upset about the drawing. They think I am overreacting, but to me, it's not about the drawing. It's about dismissing my feelings and the effort I put into this work. My father refuses to apologize, and my mom thinks I embarrassed my father in front of her sister. So Reddit, am I overreacting?
What? The actual Hell.
So if you're browsing on YouTube, you can see the photos that I put up between what the original was and what the edits were that this guy made. He basically made like 3 little pen marks above the closed eyes on the character and just kind of looks like lashes a bit, but basically just ruined her pencil painting or sketch, which is actually like pretty damn good.
Yeah, the
Try,
drawing is
she's
great.
working hard with the shading of the pencil, different shading tones and everything. Badass. Wish I could doodle something even close to that.
This
That's a
is such a control issue.
that's a just a shitty parents issue.
This is like, I'm gonna call abuse, honestly. Like,
Emotional abuse.
this is like abusive. Like, you are tearing apart something that makes them happy. Like,
And it's something that they're working
yeah.
towards. Like they're trying to like learn a new skill, build up a new skill, try a new hobby, and just gets it ruined.
I honestly think this is just like a power dynamic, like control issue from the parent side, that like she can't find any source of happiness like externally,
It's
and
pretty cruel.
anything that makes her happy, like, they need to ruin.
The mom's more worried about getting her husband embarrassed in front of her sister.
Yeah.
Well,
What about your
over her daughter's
husband
reaction.
embarrassing himself?
Like, didn't he do it himself? It wasn't really her embarrassing him. He did something. If he didn't do anything, there'd be nothing to embarrass him over.
Exactly. If he just kept to himself,
Even if
there would be no scene to cause.
there would have been he would have been embarrassed no matter what, because her sister literally bought her a frame to put that drawing in. And then when she finds out she didn't put the drawing in the frame because her dad ruined it, dad's going to be embarrassed then.
Yeah, exactly.
Shitty
I
dad.
would have found out regardless.
A shitty dad action followed up by a shitty wife action. Like, I don't know. I guess sometimes we say, you got to back up your partner, but I feel like this is not it. You got to back up your kid in this situation.
No, yeah, this is definitely you have to back up your partner to the extent that they're not being abusive,
Right?
and completely unreasonable.
Yes.
Because we've had that other story where the mom had to keep stuff from his husband because
Her husband, yeah.
her husband like just would overreact about the littlest things, about her daughter
Took
going
the
to the
door
mall
off
or
the
whatever.
hinge.
Took the door off
Yeah.
the hinge and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And then she was like, well, if he can't be a reasonable person, then I'm also going to keep stuff from him.
Yep.
And so yeah, you can't negotiate with crazy. This is one of those things. Like, no, mom should have had OP's back, because like, taking a step back from outsider POV, like, who is in the right here? Obviously, like, very clearly it's OP. That's how I think, like, you should have your partner's back if it's like, minor things. Like, or if you're like putting up a front to your, I don't know. It's like,
it's a delicate balance, I feel like, when you're taking on that parenting
yeah.
role, like when you want to have a kid, and then how your co-parenting is going to be with your partner.
Yeah.
And what is your line versus what is their line, and
Yeah.
how do you react to it? I feel like on this, you chose to be with your husband no matter what, because you felt like your daughter was embarrassing him in front of your sister, which is a different dynamic versus what was actually right and wrong in this situation, versus if the sister wasn't there, this situation happened. As a parent, are you like more neutral in the conversation in front of your kid?
Mhm.
And then you either have a calm conversation with your husband / ream your husband out, and that he needs to go apologize,
Yeah.
so that that conversation doesn't happen in front of your husband? Or do you react to your husband in front of your kid and to be on your kid's side?
Yeah.
It's so difficult.
I know.
I think the baseline here is, why would you ruin your kid's drawing?
Yeah, no,
Why
this
would
is
you ruin
just,
something they
like,
put so much effort
on
into?
a human level, like, just be a decent human. Like, this isn't even arguable at all.
You're an asshole for putting pen onto her paper, onto her pencil drawing. You're just a dickhead.
Yeah.
Top comment with 8.7 thousand upvotes says your dad and mom are assholes. This is one of those things. Kid's 19 female. kid is an adult. The kid is an adult, and that adult is going to start making life decisions going forward in the future. That adult is going to start to get a career. That adult is going to save up their money. That adult is going to move out as soon as they can.
That adult is going to put you in a home.
That adult is going to have limited text messages. That adult is not going to FaceTime you every day to check in with how you're doing. That adult is going to create separation in their life.
I like the response to that top comment. The audacity of the dad telling her to grow up right after he scribbled on a drawing like a bored toddler with a marker. The projection is blinding.
Exactly. This is like sibling energy.
Right?
Sibling
energy. It's like little brother.
Look, Mom, look what I draw. And then little brother with the crayon being like, I made it better.
Yeah.
I made him green.
Yeah. The projection is blinding is a great line.
That should be a top comment right there.
I love that line.
I love that. All right. Back to you.
All right. This one comes from BOR Updates, posted 5 days ago with 3,000 upvotes. Title is Coworker cut my hair after saying my hair would look great shorter.
Oh.
Don't trigger me right now, please. Okay. I work remote, and thus I can do whatever I like with my clothes and hair. I love it, even though I'm a bit new to it. We have an office in my city that we have events at, and some non-remote workers work. My coworker, Terry, works remote, and we meet every Thursday morning to interface for projects that cross over our departments. Since I've met him, he always has comments about my hair and clothes, but it's whatevs. But he does often say that my big curly hair would look a lot better short and showed me a photo of his wife who has hair like mine but wears it really short. I don't like my short hair. Sue me. So I just go, not for me, I'm afraid. We have a holiday party that is next week, so I volunteer to help set it up, not because I'm some great nice person, mind you. I get paid extra and get extra vacation days, and the Caribbean is calling me, lol. And Terry, too, is helping. He had some scissors and showed us with aluminum foil how cutting it can make scissors sharper. Interesting. He kept saying, it cuts so smooth. I kept going cutting crap and then grabbed some of my hair and cut it. It was me, him, and his teammate, and it quickly escalated. HR, of course, was notified. He says he didn't mean to, but just got wrapped up in it and let his intrusive thoughts win. He says he's on the spectrum and he's incredibly sorry. A coworker told me he's saying I must hate him, and he's been depressed since. HR is pulling me in a meeting tomorrow, and per our policy, they explicitly say what the meeting is about. What are my thoughts about it, and how would I like to move forward? I know I don't want to see this guy if I can help it, and I do want the cost covered for my stylist appointment. I don't really want police involved. My hair goes past my butt, and he tried to cut at my hip, so it was a good chunk. I'm angry, and I usually want to believe the best in people, but I don't want to hear. I mean, it's fucking nuts, and everyone is saying how insane it is, and he's a bit of a goofball, but overall just excitable and sweet. I guess my question is, how do I even handle this? Like, what do I ask for reasonably, and what is my rage and anger speaking? I'm so upset, but I can't talk to anyone else because my family and friends would just want me to go scorched earth.
What do you think the people on here are going to want?
Girl.
Okay. I was pretty scorched earth. And then the second last line that said, and everyone's saying how insane it is and that he's a bit of a goofball, but overall just excitable and sweet. And I was like, it doesn't matter, scorched earth. And then I was like, well, if you have person A over here and they're like a straight up POS and they cut your hair because they don't want anybody else to be happy and they did it for like pure malicious intent, then they deserve scorched earth, right? And then if you have someone over here that's like genuinely thought you would look better, they're weird, they're a goofball, they got caught up in it a little bit, but they weren't like 1,000% intentional on being a POS, then maybe they deserve a slightly less version of scorched earth. Where I'm like,
I see what you're saying.
Backing it down a little bit.
But I just feel like this is inexcusable.
Well, like, what would you want? You want to press charges over it?
How are you a functioning human being?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you function in society? You just let your intrusive thoughts take over?
That's not good.
You just in the grocery store, you're thinking, oh, that person is wearing too much makeup. Let me go wipe off their Eyeliner.
Or how good would that watermelon look like red on the floor?
Right?
What's the inside of that watermelon look like? I need to know right
Like,
now.
I just don't understand. And if this is something that, is like if it's due to, I don't know, being on the spectrum or something, like, is it something that you can help maybe? Like,
It's kind of crazy too, the length of the hair. Like if it was your hair, what would you consider your hair length? Boob length?
to my boobs, yeah.
She said her hair is past
To
her butt,
Yeah.
and he cut
To
up
her
to
hip.
her hip.
Yeah.
And he's like, what is short to him? Here's my wife is short. When someone says short hair, I'm picturing like neck height, like here.
Me
Like
too.
that's short,
Bob.
right? Like a bob? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna not touch your shoulders, just
Mhm.
above where it meets your shoulders. It's past her butt.
Mhm.
That would be crazy to go from that to a bob. That's in the territory of like I can donate my hair because I'm cutting such a huge amount off at one time.
Yeah.
And he like you're not gonna get all of it. You're gonna get one snip out.
Exactly.
You're just gonna take a chunk. You're not actually giving her a haircut.
Exactly.
You're taking a chunk out of her hair.
I know. I'm not understanding.
I think for me, and I'm not a woman, so I don't know the length that it would take to grow out this hair that long. But I'm just, in the context of how I would see it, what they've said here, HR is involved. I don't necessarily want to get him fired, but I never want to have to work with him again. And I want my stylist appointment to get this taken care of, paid for. And I'm getting a hell of an expensive stylist appointment.
But even a stylist appointment isn't going to fix it because you can't just like grow back that hair.
Agreed.
Now she has to cut her hair to that length.
Do you want to press assault charges on him for it?
Yeah. Yes.
See, that's where that line that it comes in where it says everyone's saying how insane it is and he's a bit of a goofball and he's just excitable and sweet, where it's like, hey, if you were a malicious punk ass little
I don't think it matters.
I'm going to press charges. But when you are over here and you're not the worst person ever and you made a mistake, I think I can not go for charges on that one. Like it's the intent that's getting me on that, where I'm like, okay,
he intended to cut her hair. That's what the intent was. And he did it.
Yes, but the intent wasn't to cut her hair to make her look bad.
Doesn't matter. He still cut her hair
without
her permission.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I get what you're saying, but I'm just like, he didn't come at her with like buzzers. Bzz.
Okay. Consensus. This is battery and above HR's pay grade. It also might have been racially motivated. So some comments by OP says, I'm Black on both parents' side and part Indigenous on my mother's side. I didn't want to mention it in the post because I didn't want to run on the assumption that it was racist, mostly because if it is...
Sighing emoji? Is that what that one is?
Yeah, like sighing emoji. This is a whole other beast and I hate confrontation. I work a lot at it, but TBH, I'm part Native American, so my hair is very specific. I've almost always had long hair and would donate it when I was younger, but now I just like it long because it is pretty unique to me amongst most other Black women I know. It's just a little thing that makes us feel unique or special. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have no fucking right.
Yeah.
You have no right. I don't care if you had good intentions or not. You have no right. Like, that's my fucking body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You should do your hair like this. No, I don't want to. Okay. That's end of the conversation. My wife has it like this. Okay, good for her. It's not me. You're very, very out of line for cutting anybody's hair. Absolutely outrageous.
This is insane. So an update comes one day later.
Sorry, I wish this was posted on Am I Overreacting? Because I'd love to see a photo. I would like to see a photo of like her hair, how long it was, and where's the cut mark of the damage done.
But I think it wouldn't change my mind at all. I don't care if it's like even a little snip. Like,
oh, I'm not talking about changing minds. I just want to visualize this.
Yeah.
She's saying like her hair is so long and it's unique, and I want to see it. Did she also say it was curly too? It was like that long and curly?
Yeah, because she's Black. So
I want to see this hair. Man.
Okay, so an update comes one day later. I'm at a pub near headquarters enjoying a beer because I am off the rest of the day and can. I went into the HR meeting and it was like this. I took a lot of advice from your comments and also broke down and explained it to my mom, best friends, and of course my partner. All were livid, but I got good advice from them as well. So, how about that Crown Act? Also, in my state, this is a huge deal both locally and federally. So, I further confirmed I wasn't overreacting by being rattled and pissed. I preemptively sent a formal email to HR asking for their records as this is a police matter and requesting their cooperation. That got attention as now instead of just meeting with the rep from HR, the meeting changed by the time I logged on this morning and have new names added to the calendar invite. I sat down with Anne, who is my director supervisor, Gary, the HR lead, and Leon, who is the supervisor of the offender. First was a long apology. Very HR, this should have never happened, and we take these matters very seriously, etc. Then they talked about what they've already done. He is currently suspended, written up, and if he returns, he will need to do mandatory training. This all has been documented with witness statements that will be shared with me. I am given the option to work now directly with Leon on matters that branch from my department into his. They reminded me that my job offers free therapy through an online program, but I am already in regular therapy, so they've offered to cover this month via reimbursement. I am given paid leave through to January 6th, effective as soon as I walk out from this meeting. I will still be paid for my time on the party, and the bonus is promised to me for working on it, but I will no longer be required to assist with prep going forward. Then they gave me the floor asking what, if anything, more I wanted. How was I? I started with thanking them for their attention on this matter. I mentioned that while I do want to believe the best in people, it bears nothing that this can be viewed as assault and possibly racially driven. I explained that ethnic hair takes a lot to maintain, and as a Black woman, I do a lot to ensure its health and length. I reiterated his repeated comments about my hair and how I felt this might have been targeted and do not ever want to be around this man again. I will be filing a police report on the matter due to the seriousness of him not only touching me without permission, but using a dangerous object to cut my hair. I then said that I've sent images to my hairstylist and expect to be reimbursed for the services of managing my altered hair. They asked how much this might be, and I said I wasn't sure as I have an emergency appointment this Saturday. Anne spoke up and said that might not be possible, but gave it to Gary in a form of a question. Gary said he needs to see about it, but Leon spoke up and said that he, as a Black man, would be shocked if they didn't cover this and reinforced my point that Black hair care is expensive and time-consuming. He spoke of the culture of the company and how we are supposed to not only be against discrimination, but claim to be anti-racist. It wouldn't be right to not make right this offense because, quote, Lily is being so calm right now and I'm impressed because that's some next-level racism from where I sit. I did confirm that I am shaken and very, very angry, but also a professional and I want this meeting to be productive. Ultimately, Gary gave me a tentative yes, and I requested an email confirming all the points and promises made in the meeting. I received that about an hour ago with confirmation that I need only to send an invoice or receipt to Gary. In the meeting, I was told that an email has been sent directly to HR, but addressed to me from the man who cut my hair. They said I don't have to read it, but they will send it to me if I want. I did, for at least the sake of having a confirmation and confession possibly in an email. All in all, I think things went okay under the circumstances. I did show them the damage to my hair, and Leon was visibly pissed. I honestly think the guy will eventually just be sacked if not for this, for literally any other reason just based on his boss's behavior towards this. Last night I cried about my hair. At the time, I was feeling like I was being a crybaby. It's just hair at the end of the day, but it occurred to me also that it's a big part of me and my identity, and it gives me a tie also to my Indigenous roots. I did say that in the meeting too, but it's just heartbreaking to me. Nothing is undone. My stylist said based on the photos, I will need to at least trim a bit off the bottom. A commenter suggested a smile shape, so I suggested it to my stylist, so we'll see. My mom, who is easily the best mom in the world, sent me a text right before my meeting ended to ask how it went, and I told her everything I told you all. She said she was proud of me for standing up for myself and gave me a push to alert the police. So I will. She wants me to sue also, but so far is only slightly suggesting. It just sounds stressful, and this was already traumatic, so I think I will worry about that after the holidays. Now, though, I have a lot of time to burn. I'm not used to having no work. I used to work multiple jobs, have side hustles and all that, but after I got this job, it has great pay and benefits, and I now make enough to live comfortably without fear of being short on rent or skimping on food budget to make ends meet. That's why I put my all into it. I've been commended multiple times already there, and if I do say so myself, I'm a great employee. It was nice to have a little reflected back, but I have to admit I'm still angry. I also feel some sort of way about Anne in the meeting. She was nice to me and handed me a tissue when I teared up, but otherwise looked so uncomfortable to the point that it was pretty distracting. She looked like she was being tortured, and I was like, girl, no one is having fun here. Get it together. But I am in my feelings, and I know that. So now I guess I need to figure out how to fill my time for a while. Trip? Decorating? New hobby? Old hobby? Thoughts? I could use some suggestions. Lastly, it occurred to me that a lot of folks in the comments have been following my insane life, so I wanted to thank everyone in the DMs with uplifting words, jokes, hair care suggestions, and the like. It really makes this shitty situation easier. So, from my heart to yours, I wish you all a lovely holiday. I know they can be hard for a lot of people. I hope you can all find a little joy regardless. Then there's an edit that says, I did check my email and read his email to me that was funneled through HR. There's a very clear admission of what happened. He had very odd reasoning and repeated intrusive thoughts and did note he is on the spectrum. He also mentioned lightly that remote work saved him because he's awkward and he just wants to be friendly but admits he took things too far.
Damn. I'm definitely more on the scorched earth side.
Good.
And if it is racially motivated, that 100% puts it into the category of malicious and not just goofy. And that's definitely scorched earth. Man, HR is rolling out the benefits for this situation. You get time off. You don't have to do this.
Yeah,
Bonus
because they're
pay.
hoping she doesn't go to the police.
Absolutely. Sue them. Lawsuit,
Yeah,
right? They're liable
They
because
are
it was
liable.
their employee who assaulted her.
Yeah.
And at one point, she mentioned the Crown Act. And the Crown Act, creating a respectful and open world for natural hair, is a U.S. movement and legislation banning discrimination based on hair texture and protective styles like braids, locks, twists, afros in workplace and schools, and recognizing these styles as race-based. First placed in California in 2019.
Damn.
Anti-discrimination protections. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think he should be fired. Like, I think assaulting
He
someone
will
like that
be.
at work, like, yeah, immediately you're put on leave, depending an investigation. And then I think after the investigation, I think he should be canned. And yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I think so. And then it's your personal choice whether you want to go to the police or not for that.
I think she will. I
Yeah.
think the comments have backed her up and supported her and made her realize like what the extent of this situation and what she can actually do. So thankful for Reddit, honestly, because honestly, sometimes like you just have blinders on. You don't know what your rights are. You don't know if you're overreacting or whatever. And then you have like hundreds, thousands of people supporting you and telling you, no, this is wrong. Even like the last story about like the girl in India. Like she
Yeah.
probably didn't think like she thought she was honestly overreacting. Like maybe yeah, I didn't have to go like escape. Like maybe I didn't have to do that harsh of a getaway or whatever, but like no, when it's sometimes you just need an outsider perspective to help you like give you that push.
Yep. I like the top comment on the best of Redditor updates that says, if I let my intrusive thoughts win, I'd be in prison.
Right? Like everybody has intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
But you don't act on them.
Exactly.
Otherwise, yeah, you will get in trouble.
You have consequences.
Yes.
Intrusive thoughts is not frickin' an answer to doing bad things.
No.
I have intrusive thoughts about robbing banks all the time.
Interesting.
I'm not planning a friggin' heist over here. How easy would life be if you just robbed $3 million from a bank? What a great intrusive thought. Not everybody's frickin' doing it.
Right?
I choose life. I choose freedom. Jesus.
All right. Back to you.
Yes. All right. This one's coming from AITAH, posted 6 days ago with 17,000 upvotes. Am I the asshole for wanting to charge a 11-year-old for theft and destruction of property? So about a week and a half ago, my son's phone was taken from his bag at primary school. I managed to track it using Find My iPhone, and it led me to a house. From that house, I banged on the front door and was answered by a mom. I explained that I tracked my son's phone to this house, and from there discovered her son and 2 of his friends had just been there. She calls him, and then I follow her in my car to a second kid's house. At this house, all 3 kids are there, and I tell them I don't care who stole it, I just hand it back and it's done. All 3 kids swear black and blue that they've never seen it and know nothing about it. I exchange numbers with the mom from the first house and the dad from the second house. Then I have to leave knowing full well one of them has it. I get home and receive a call from the mom from the first house. She has checked the security cameras from her house and discovered the kid from the second house who swore that they never had a phone is miraculously holding a phone in the footage. This has already been sent to the dad, and next minute I get a message from the guilty kid's mom asking if she can come to my house. Her and her son arrive teary eyed and apologetic. I just asked for the phone back, and she shakes her head, saying that he has smashed and destroyed it.
Ooh.
It was only an iPhone XE, so not expensive, but as a single mom working full time, was my means of communicating with my son. She asked if she can go buy me a phone now, but I ask if she just contributes $100 and I'll find a similar phone off Marketplace, as I prefer an iPhone as I connect it to mine and can monitor parental controls and other settings. She agreed and is happy to pay that. It has been over a week now, and she has now stopped replying to any messages and won't answer any calls. Last message I sent was me saying if I didn't receive payment, I would report her and charge her 11-year-old son. So am I the asshole if I charge him for theft and destruction of property?
No.
Also, as a side note, I have camera footage, admission of guilt in her text message, and agreeing she would pay, as well as her son admitting to the school that he stole it as well. So I have enough evidence to go forward.
No.
No,
No.
no,
Not the asshole at all.
not the asshole.
Why would she admit to it and then ghost you?
Right? Over $100?
$100?
$100?
Pay the fuck up.
I'm just saying, if I had a kid and they did that to another kid, one, they'd be in so much shit. And I would hope that they had tried to do smaller things in the past and got in enough trouble for them to learn that you don't do those things. And the fact that you did it with an iPhone, okay, now we're at this situation. You're getting reamed out. You're getting punishments. But before we go to that parent's house, you know the phone's broken.
Mm-hmm.
You know that it needs to be replaced.
Yeah, come with cash.
I'm either A, coming with cash, or I'm actually going to come with a phone.
Yeah.
Like, I will get whatever's within my budget. Like, if it's within my budget just to get a brand new iPhone, I will go to do that to try to prevent literal lawsuits coming back on me. I will go to Apple. I'll just buy a brand new phone and I'll go with a whatever. If she doesn't appreciate it, and she doesn't want it, I can always return it. I'll go off Facebook. I'll get something that's within my budget. If whatever happens where she's not accepting that phone as an apology from me, I can try to resell it on Facebook, but whatever. But I'm making that effort to show up to that house and fix the problem as much as I can for that parent.
Yeah.
I want to make it seamless so that all they have to do is just turn that thing on and their problem is fixed.
Right.
The more there is a problem for someone, the more resentful that they're going to be.
The more they're going to want to make your life harder.
Exactly.
By going to the police.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would be doing as much as possible, showing up with an iPhone that's either the exact same or newer and being like, here you go. I'm so sorry for my terrible freaking child over there. We're going to punish him up the wazoo. His cell phone, he gets to smash his own cell phone now.
No, you get his cell phone. How about that?
That's a good one too. He has a phone. Give your phone to them now.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It seemed like OP was trying to, be reasonable.
Yeah.
And was like, well, yeah.
Just $100.
$100.
Where are you getting an iPhone for $100?
Right? I guess the XE, though.
I guess the XE. I
old.
used to have that one. That's like 7 years old
me
now.
too, yeah.
And she's not looking for an iPhone to be the greatest for her kid. She's looking for an iPhone that can text, call, and track.
Yeah, exactly.
So an XE, that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all you need. You just need a simple $100 iPhone that you can get off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
She's not even that unreasonable. There'd be parents who are like, no, I want a brand new iPhone. $2,000?
Yeah.
$1,700? I don't know, whatever I guess the top of the line cell phones are like $1,000. You're a minimum of G. And she's like, $100, your problem solved.
Yeah.
You're out getting off lucky.
Lucky. Seriously. But no, you fucked it. And now I hope she comes at you with the police report.
It's been a week? Dude,
absolutely not.
48 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours.
You're getting a message being, if you don't reply to me within 5 minutes, I'm going to the cops.
Yeah, literally. No, seriously.
Crazy. So top comment says, not the asshole. Actions have consequences. You have been more than reasonable. If money was tight or if there was some issues with getting you cash, she could have spoken up about it.
Yeah, exactly. In that moment, not agreed to it. She could have said, I'm so sorry, times are tight right now. Can I payment plan or something.
Yeah, agreed.
But
Coulda-
no, the
communication. Communication. Unless the kid smashed her phone too.
ghosting?
Then you show up,
Imagine?
just show up at their door, right? Kid's so bad. He like,
Imagine that's what happened.
oh my God. I would show up. I'd drive over and be like, hey, I'm so sorry I haven't messaged you for 2 days.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly.
Turns out my little shit destroyed my phone too.
Yeah.
All right, so there's an update that says, so after not responding to my messages for over a week, I
That's
messaged
nuts.
last night saying I was going to the police in the morning to make a report, and the money was transferred this morning.
Ha!
I read all the comments why I didn't report first, and it's because I guess I waited so long as I still want to think people will do the decent thing, and I didn't want to have to go down to the police road for a minor amount as they have more important things to do. At the end of the day, I'm not going to raise my son to be walked all over and to stick to your word, but all sorted now.
Yeah. Honestly, that's reasonable.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking like after 2 days, you don't even send a text message. You just go to the police and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, I thought I was going to send her $100. That was 3 weeks ago, ma'am.
I get what she's saying though. Like she's
Not to
not to
waste
use their
the police resource.
resources.
I do agree with that too.
Yeah.
Over a
Like-
little $100 phone dispute, little 11-year-old shithead, the police probably have bigger things that they
Yeah.
could be occupying their time with.
Yeah.
But hey, you pay your taxes too, just like everybody else. There are resources for you to use for your situations
That's
too.
true. That's true.
Your situations aren't always less important than everybody else. There's got to be some line there, because if everybody had that thought, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah. All right, back to me. All right, going into this next story, you may hear some background noise. We are in an RV, and
I think there's a street sweeper cleaning the
it sounds
leaves
like
on
a
my
lawnmower.
sister's street.
I think someone is here is cutting the grass.
No, I looked. There's some machine with a blue light.
is
Our
it?
front windshield's really dirty, though, so I couldn't fully tell. But I think it's somebody cleaning up the leaves, because the leaves are frozen and stacked up on the side of the road.
The floor is literally vibrating. Hopefully, it's not too distracting for you guys, but some of you guys say that the natural background noises are what brings it character. Brings
Exactly.
this podcast character.
Getting
so.
a lot of character with this story.
All right, so this one comes from r/advice, posted 6 days ago with 3.8 thousand upvotes. Title is, My stepmother is serving a main dish at Christmas that half of the guests will not eat. Do I say something? My stepmother, from here on known as Shelly, 70s female, has been in my, 40s female, life for 29 years, and we have never bonded and quite frankly do not really care for each other. She does not have children of her own and has made it very clear for the last 29 years that she did not want children. Why does she marry a man with 2 daughters? I will never know the answer. Needless to say, she is not at all maternal. Me, my 2 kids, my boyfriend, his daughter, my sister, brother-in-law, and their 2 kids are driving the 4-hour round trip to see my dad and Shelly for our Christmas gift exchange and lunch. My dad sent us the recipe that Shelly will be making, and I didn't read it because the name alone told me that my kids would not eat it. Both kids are on the spectrum with food sensitivity that Shelly has never respected. And I immediately responded to my dad, letting him know that I will be bringing food specifically for them, which is perfectly fine. Today I read the recipe. It's a casserole, so there won't be many other sides or options. Today I read the recipe more closely and realized that my boyfriend, his daughter, and my nephew will not eat it either. The rest of us will eat it to be polite, but won't be happy. Do I say something and have her change the menu? It's 6 days from now, so I assume she has not done the shopping yet. Or do I stay quiet and have everyone pretend and then stop for dinner on the way home?
Oh, that's tricky. Because, she's the host. It's her house. You're coming over. She's making food. It's not the worst thing. Not everybody loves it, but you're already bringing food for your kids. Do you say, hey, you need to change your menu, or do you just be grateful for what she's cooking, and if you didn't love it, you get some Mickey Dickies or some KFC on the way home?
Me personally, I would not say something.
I don't think I would say something
I would
either.
not say something.
I would just appreciate her cooking.
Yeah.
And if I couldn't eat enough of it that I'm still hungry, I'll drop in and get some McDicks.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think it's better to keep your mouth shut and not... Because it sounds like you don't already have a good relationship with her.
It's been 30 years.
You don't have a good relationship
You're not
with her.
changing anything.
You saying, hey, no one's going to like this food, it's going to leave a bad taste in her mouth.
Yep.
Literally.
Let the people say it. Let the people say it when they want. And
Yeah, you don't need to be everyone's spokesperson.
Yeah, it says, my boyfriend, his daughter, and my nephew will not eat it either. So, one, it's his daughter. She's younger. You're 40, so the kids could be like teens, 13s, something, you know, like they're younger. I feel like they're kind of at that age where if they don't like the food, the you know, stepmom will be like, oh, you're not liking it? And they're like, no.
Yeah.
Not 18 where they'll kind of be polite. Like when they're like 13 and like 8 and stuff, they kind of just bluntly say, no, I don't like the food.
Yeah.
And your nephew, not even your problem. And
Yeah,
your boyfriend.
Right? Exactly. The rest is not your problem. If you're going to eat it, fine.
Yep,
Like
your boyfriend can slightly pick at his plate or not.
the only way I would tell someone
Allergies.
Allergies,
or vegan,
or
or
if it's like
preference like vegan or vegetarian.
Or okay, wait, maybe I'm a hypocrite.
Why?
Like, cause I'm going to my cousin's on Sunday. She's like, "Oh, does anybody have any like dietary restrictions?" And I'm like debating, should I say I don't eat fish?
Yeah, that's a dietary restriction, babe.
No, is it though? It's
It
not.
is.
That's a preference.
No, but if only if a fish meal was cooked, you're not
That's
eating
what I
anything.
mean. That's
So
what I
that's a
mean.
restriction. Your preference is a restriction.
Okay, sure. That's the only.
You don't eat fish. Isn't that not the same thing for a vegetarian? They don't eat meat. A vegan, they
I
like
guess.
that. You don't like fish. You don't like to eat it. Vegetarians don't like to eat meat. They don't eat it. Like, I feel like that's
Okay.
your dietary preference.
So then I guess in this context, what is the difference then? Because it's preference.
She didn't ask. She didn't ask if anybody had any food preferences. She just said, here's the menu.
Like, is it worse to go there? Okay, no. The thing is with this one, she's saying the rest will eat it to be polite, but won't be happy. So she will still eat it. She's still able to eat it. So I think that's the difference. For me, if I was being served only fish, I wouldn't even eat it.
I wouldn't.
And I think that might be arguably ruder to just have your plate untouched than to like warn the host in advance.
Yeah. I think Teresa's dream meal I could see would be fish, broccoli with a side of mashed cauliflower. That's
Yum.
Teresa's.
Oh yeah, with all the stomach
some carrots.
problems I've been having. Thank you for painting that picture for me.
And Teresa and I have been down for the count, out sick for the last 2 days. I woke up at 4 a.m., vomited very disgustingly, and then went back to bed. And then at 9, vomited again in the morning, but there was just nothing. And then Teresa convinced me to eat some chicken noodle soup around 12.
Oh my God.
And then I had more chicken noodle soup around 5. Didn't even get all the way through that bowl of soup. Back to do the thing. And then at one point I was like, oh, well, there's the soup I just had. That's gross. And then 2 seconds later, I'm like, well, there's the soup I had at 12 o'clock. Yeah, that's gross. So then I didn't eat for like 24 hours after that.
Me either. I didn't
And then
eat
the
anything
next,
yesterday.
and then you were taking care of me all day. I was having mad, like, freezing, turn the temperature up. I'm underneath 7 layers of blankets with clothes on and everything.
You had a lot more of a fever than I did.
Fever. I was feeling cold and hot, vice versa, napping all day. And then the next day, boom, it was Teresa. She got sick yesterday. The next day. Yeah. She almost went all day without puking. She thought she wasn't going to do it. And then it happened to her late at night.
Stop. We have some sort of stomach bug, I think, or food poisoning. I don't know. We had some hot dog from like one of those hot dog stands.
See, I think it was a stomach bug because if it was food poisoning, I feel like it should have hit us relatively the same time. Yours was 24 hours later.
I know.
Yours was the next day that you felt bad.
Yeah, I think it is a stomach bug, but we're fine now.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. Back
TMI.
to the top comment.
Top comment says, I would not necessarily bring it up asking her to change the menu. I would just politely chat and say that you are going to bring some food for the kids, but do you mind if I bring a few extra side dishes as so-and-so doesn't eat mushrooms? Or just show up with some extra side dishes and stop for some fast food on the way home. Yeah, I wouldn't bring it up. I don't think.
I agree. I don't think I would. Not unless she asked, hey, does this menu look good?
Yeah.
Because, like, it's been 30 years. You know if they're an open person. Your mom, very open person. Hey, you know, what was on the menu? Is everybody good with this? What do you think? And then there's the people, probably like my mom, this is what's getting cooked. Take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm.
And she seemed like a take it or leave it person.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, back to you.
Can't believe she doesn't update us with what's she doing, what's happening. Oh, I think they're having creamy chicken rice casserole with mushrooms.
Oh.
Who couldn't eat that? Because you don't like mushrooms? I don't like mushrooms, and I would try to eat that the best that I could. I'd eat the chicken and the
Yeah, I would
rice, and
just
I'd
take
eat
out the
around the
mushrooms.
mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not even that bad of a meal.
Oh. I mean, it's all,
Relative.
to people's preferences. But
I guess so. All right, this one's coming from Today I Fucked Up, posted 5 days ago with 12,000 upvotes.
What?
Title is Today I Fucked Up by being the only one who laughed at something said in Spanish and outing myself on knowing Spanish.
Okay.
I work in a warehouse that is filled with mainly Hispanics. My warehouse manager, Tom, and 2 other people, Jeff and Bill, and myself are the only non-Hispanic people. Everyone there mainly speaks Spanish to one another unless they have to speak to Bill, Jeff, or myself. Tom is fluent in Spanish and speaks to them in Spanish usually, but speaks to us in English. When I got hired, my warehouse manager brought me around and introduced me to a few people. With my background in warehouse management, I got hired as a team lead. As a non-Hispanic person and younger than almost everyone, I stuck out a lot. I didn't mind and knew they would get to like me, especially once I told them I was married into an Hispanic family and had aunts and uncles who were Hispanic. I was also excited to speak to them in Spanish as it's my second language and I've always enjoyed being able to speak it. Well, during my tour of the place, I got introduced to Jeff and Bill and other people I will be managing, but before I got around to everyone, there was side remarks from people saying in Spanish after walking away about how it's stupid that some, quote, young white boy is going to help manage a large group of Hispanics. Jeff and Bill, who were on the tour with Tom and myself, explained how they would be bullied at times for not speaking Spanish, and the others would constantly talk to them first in Spanish and then say sorry and switch to English. Tom hired me specifically because of my past work with him and because he knew I understood Spanish, but also understand the majority of people who work there are fluent in Spanish as their first language and would not respect someone who doesn't understand it, which is why they bully Jeff and Bill at times. I understood their situation and do not mind. It would make me mad too if someone got hired to run a team that mainly spoke Spanish and he didn't speak any Spanish. However, they didn't give me a chance to let them know I can before judging me. After the tour, Tom and I sat down in his office to go over the job, and we spoke about me speaking Spanish part and them automatically thinking I don't know it. He said that it's a typical warehouse where they will haze the new guy to make sure he's a good fit, but they're all decent dudes who work hard. So we jokingly agreed we would joke with them back by not telling them I can speak Spanish, but only knew certain words to get by in the warehouse. We cut to about 9 months on the job. I've been doing a good job by this time leading my team. They respect and follow my lead for the most part. However, they speak their minds in Spanish about me to my face. At first, I found it very disrespectful, but after a while, I used it as a tool to help me manage them. Well, one day, while a group of us were in the break room, someone was telling a joke in Spanish. I was busy eating my lunch by myself as usual, not really paying attention to what was being said. The person who was telling the joke is the usual class clown, but at times his humor can be a little immature for the other guys, but I found most of it funny. Well, during this particular joke, no one got the punchline, but I did. But not only did I get it, but I laughed really hard, and no one else was laughing but the guy who told the joke. The entire room looked at me puzzled. I had nothing in front of me, no book, no phone, nothing. There is nothing I would be laughing at other than what he said. A few of them started to crowd me, and one started to talk to me in Spanish, asking me if I understood them. I pretended to be clueless till they got closer and closer till they had cornered me. He again, very close and tough like, asked me again if I understood them, and if I lied, and they found out later that I lied, they would kick my ass.
Oh.
I'm much smaller than him, and the person who was threatening was a felon.
Woo.
Not that all felons are dangerous and bad people, as a lot of the people working there were ex-cons, but I knew him enough to understand he was serious. So I spoke back to him in Spanish. The room got crazy, and a lot of them started to realize that they had been talking shit to their superior's face for the past 9 months. After a long talk, they all calmed down and actually thought it was hilarious, and I now have a lot more respect for them, and I now talk to them all in Spanish.
That could have ended really badly for him.
Jesus.
Oh, that is a big fuck up. That's
Yeah.
kind of funny,
That's pretty
though.
funny.
Took 9 months for it to slip.
Yeah.
Damn, that's actually crazy that it went that long.
Top comment says, I mean, obviously the guy threatening you is a crazy reaction, but not telling them you spoke Spanish for 9 months is pretty wild, man. Like, I get the joke for a week or two, but why would you keep a secret for that long?
Yeah.
Then someone else says, on the flip side, never assume the people around you can't understand you if you're going to talk shit.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
And someone says, especially if you're speaking Spanish in the country with the 5th largest population of native Spanish speakers in the world. Seriously, it's not a secret code. I can actually hear your homophobic slurs, guys at the grocery stores.
Yeah. I mean, if we're talking about the States, isn't that their
I
second
think it's their second,
language?
right? Basically.
Yeah.
Someone says, you got to tell us a joke, man. And OP replies and says, the guy was making fun of someone else and the way he eats his elote, E-L-O-T-E, and how much mayo he gets on it. It's mainly the goofy way the guy told the joke.
That's a big fuck up.
That's funny, though.
Happy it cats out of the bag.
Yeah, how long are we going to hold
you
on to that
survived.
for? How long are we going to hold on to that for?
Yeah.
All right. That was best of the week Reddit stories. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
First episode of the year.
First 2026 episode. Happy
Crazy.
2026. Hope it's starting off with a bang.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here. And next week we'll be back to our usual themed episode.
Yeah, but before the themed episode, we got Sunday Patreon episodes, bonus episodes bonus episodes coming to you live on Sunday. So links down below. Check out our Patreon. 80-something episodes for you to binge. Sometimes even better stories that we get on Patreon than on the regular episodes. It's really a good time over there.
Yeah. Other than that,
appreciate all your support. Smash the like button on YouTube. Help subscribe to YouTube. We're trying to get to 19,000 subscribers on YouTube, so appreciate any extra subscribers on there. If you guys are on Spotify, just drop a comment down below. Let us know what your favorite story was. Don't forget, there's also early access on YouTube for $1 a month, ad-free early access for all of the YouTube versions of the show. And yeah, check out the Factor Meals Quince down below. And thank you guys so much.
thank you all. We love you and goodbye.
Bye. I'm elastic that he hasn't tried to.
No.
I'm ecstatic.